What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. The description has dropped for King's Court, and while it's still very general and vague, people are going, John, should I be buying this? This seems crazy. It seems like the next Toon Chaos, which it is the next Toon Chaos in terms of the slot for product. Whenever we're looking at side sets, Genesis Impact is a deck building set from Japan, and yes, while the layout is the same in terms of collector rares and ultra rares, this is a premier kind of set, more so similar to Toon Chaos or Shadows and Valhalla, which you might recall initially flopped pretty darn bad. Super rare Ash Blossom was leading the set. Invocation was $6. Remember how nice that was, even though it was short printed. And the rest of the set was just easy peasy, cheap and breezy. But if you held over time diamond hands, you're really making out like a bandit now. Toon Chaos, on the other hand, debuted the rarity of collector rares, and since there's been huge fluctuations in them, we have seen that people are willing to go back into that market during this crazy time with Psyframe Gear Gamma or Toon Blackluster Soldier and pour their money into these kinds of cards. But when I'm looking at this set, I do think it's a winner. I do think it'll do well for itself off this early description, but you're still in a situation without a lot of information. You're hoping, and actually the old set description read that these cards could be played as an engine for the God card strategy or on their own. So vastly changing into this own different thing, but the name kind of gave it away. We all kind of thought instantly, ah yes, Yugi's cards, and with that, you can bet your bottom dollar there's some buyouts around this. Now, should you be buying this? Here's your risk versus reward factor. Look at Ghosts from the Past and other crazy sets like Toon Chaos and how they started to shoot out of the gate, and then Toon Chaos was oversold versus distribution, and there was a short on it, so people who got in early were very lucky. They had their order cemented. I think the set is personally going to be a winner from this early description, but there's still not a lot of information. So you are gambling when you're putting that money down on the table. Right now, $700 for an entire case on YBM, though you can use code WhatsGood5 to support the channel, so that 5% off, and then we can see what each box would be. That's around $55 a box. That is not bad at all if you're going in, but think about if this set doesn't pan out versus that description. If Konami doesn't put that best foot forward, and it turns out like Genesis Impact, where it had a winning deck, and the collector rares were just not there for the chase cards, what if that happens? I think that would be very hard pressed with, you know, a fan favorite lore-like archetype being in here and crazy buyouts on those cards in the past and even now. When we look at the hype into this, Queen's Knight Ultimate Rare Gun. Remember, I actually got one of these for $30 in my little Ultimate Rare Collection version first edition. Now the only one on market is $300 for a first edition, the rest of those disappearing, and even the Unlimiteds have gone moon rocketing towards 90, 150, etc. King's Knight himself, he's gone, literally not there for a near mint copy. And funny enough, Jack's Knight was played in Monarch format, so people have these left over more so than the others. I mean, he is a vanilla on top, but this was the highest level 5 light monster to pair with the Prime Monarch to make Pleiades and stuff, and extra deck Monarch, so people have extra of these, funny enough. It's 120, 125, 130 out of a pretty good set, Elemental Energy. Also, Arcana Knight Joker has been bought out for Legendary Collections Yu-Gi World. This set is crazy if you paid attention to it. We've covered buyout after buyout on that Legendary Collection here on Market Watch, kind of similar to first edition TDGS. The most recent listings are non-existent. They are foreign. They have nothing to do with the set. It is essentially sold out for its English copies, and people are turning their attention towards other places and other copies of this card, although you still have a common readily available and an Alter Art common, which hopefully finally gets a holo within this set. So my opinion is, consider your resources if you're going in buying. I don't think it's a bad gamble, but it is still a gamble if you're doing so. Next up on the docket is Black Whirlwind. Simo, 8 O's digging into the market. If you paid attention to Blackwing stuff at all, it's going crazy thanks to his series Damage Step, Kalut. Black Whirlwind Super is probably the highest rarity considered of this card. Remember that it has heavy foil edging damage, being out of Turbo Pack 1, as many as those super rares like Reba Polygon's also has, and we see here, it's just ridiculous. You do have other holographic versions of Black Whirlwind. Most recently, I think we got another ultra rare, if I'm not mistaken, out of a Battles of Legend that should be very easy for you to get. Let's see here. Battles of Legend ultra rare, indeed. Still insanely cheap if you just want a holographic version for yourself. These commons used to always hold in there around $2 to $3, but after these extra versions have come out, it's nice that you have cheaper versions of this. Paladin Zectron keeps going up and up and up. Market price 10. It was low 20 last night. Somebody's listed today to where, yeah, Near Mint Unlimited 15. Thank you, Motivated Seller. Before it's 25. I don't know if this is just Ice Barrier hype, if it's in some specific combo, or you're using it for something like that, but it could be in Zector hype in the future. I'm not sure exactly what's happening with this. So if you know the exact reason besides Ice Barriers, let me know in the comment section down below, because I wouldn't think double and triple down buyouts would be happening just from that structure deck, but I guess any hope and prayer for it could do that. No clue, and I'm not scared to admit I have no clue. That's what you as an awesome community come together for in the comment section, and sometimes you all also go, yeah, there's not a good reason for that. Speaking of weird reasons, Kokimero Drago Ultimate Rares are bought out, and I'm being quoted that Dragon Link can summon this on an end board to shut out light and dark monsters specifically. I think that's kind of cute, but I don't know if that's going to be the most meta-impacting thing, but this card has a huge history in the game, many different techs in past formats. You see the Unlim is still hanging around, kind of cheap, $18, and then $25. This is what it's almost always been at for years and years. That's why I say cheap, but that's relative. And then only one first edition Near Mint on all the market at $72, with people even asking for 54 plus on the light plays. Again, I respect this card a lot. I remember struggling against it back in the day, but usually you could out it. I do think it's a little funny that Dragon Link's being quoted to be the one using it. Ultimate Rare Utopia Lightning. The other tower's out to match the Diamond Hand Crab King buyout. So this has been bought out, Ultimate Rare. A lot of people criticize its look as an ulti as well. I'm not for or against. I still wish it did look a little better, like Konami would be willing to put more foiling on the picture, but I digress. It has a huge buyout, and it is towards $78, $79 right now. Remember, buyouts don't equal what a price is now at, and excuse me, allergies. Buyouts don't necessarily equal what a price is going to sell for. When you see these prices, they'll start to creep down until actual sales are being made, and case in point, we'll show that a little later. When ultra rares are running out and when starlights are a little bit up versus market price, I feel like this just doesn't have the same oomph as the Link monsters or collectability as them, but we'll watch and see what happens with that. So Zeus had the buyout after buyout after buyout, and he was above $90, so 93. Oh yeah, let's hold in just a couple days after these buyouts. Well, Phantom Rage, extremely thirsty for value, one of the most recent sets. Plenty of people have Zeus, yep, and 83, 83, 83, 83, no longer towards that $93. Case in point, just because something is listed at a price and has been hyped to a price doesn't mean that it's going to stand at that price. So all these ridiculous buyouts, from Ultimate Rare Nibiru to, yeah, let's actually pull up a couple from stream last night. We're going rogue on Market Watch. Nibiru Ultimate Rares are ridiculous, up towards 155 when they floated back down under the triple-digit market multiple times. People keep trying to make this one happen. It recently went up towards 115. They doubled down on this buyout. Or say Space Mambo DRO3 getting a buyout and the only near mint being 130. Do you think our favorite rocket ship going to the moon? Do you think this is really 130? I really don't think so. I think it has no business being where it's at. Now, in the what are these gosh darn kids doing with GOAT format at this point, Book of the Moon Ultimate Rare's been bought back out up. Remember, this has had failed multiple attempts at a buyout. Here they go again. It's towards 100, and last night the lowest was 109, so we have a Portuguese copy at 100, not an English there. And Mystic Swordsman level 2, the commons are now towards $10, even Legendary Collection Joey World Structure Deck getting bought out, and this is kind of a niche tech option within the format. I'm a gambling man. I like Sasuke Samurai number 4 in the format, where you flip a coin and hope to negate the flip effect monster, but then also when they come at you in battle, you get a chance to take down those monsters, and you'll run over the flip monster anyways. Yeah, I actually like that, and one of my friends topped a regional with that back in the day. How does old real GOAT format sound? It's crazy, ain't it? I'm not saying buy out Sasuke Samurai number 4. Instructions are not unclear. It's one of my favorite cards. Leave him alone. But if you are, use my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra. Support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. And Scapegoat from Dark Legends, another super rare copy, has been extremely bought out. Dark Legends has had so many rolling buyouts on it. A bad retro pack still equals, oh, you said retro pack, and these cards have just been disappearing off the market. Also, Scapegoat Ultimate Rare itself, I believe, has been bought out. It's so hard to cover everything in like one market watch. Like, I'm scrambling to pull things up here, like pulling them out of my head. Like, what tabs did I miss from stream last night? Should have been a little more organized, but I do enjoy more so this live off the cuff feel with you guys at times. Ultimate Scapegoat, triple digits, $100 bills people are trying to get for this. We'll see how that stands. Again, not a very good looking ultimate rare in my opinion, how it pops out and has no foiling on the goats at all, but people are going for this one, and we'll see how that turns out for them as well. So what do you guys think of King's Courts, the crazy market going on here? And are you going to be diving in early, or are you going to be waiting for more of a set description? To the early victors go the rewards, but if you went in early on Genesis Impact, you're actually losing instead of winning. Isn't that kind of ironic? You can get like Genesis Impact cheaper right now than versus pre-sales per box. So like, it's give and take. Like, you gotta call if it's going to be a win or not. And when we do read this hopeful set description, it starts to say, oh, be on the lookout for collector rares and world premiere cards previously unreleased, and how the collector rares are going to be better, basically. They're going to be classic and competitive favorites. They do get to put their best foot forward within the set. I'm hoping to see it pan out, but we also see that in the Abish, the Ancient Guardians description, that they're quoting that some of the collector rares are going to be a mix of new cards and older favorites. So I kind of first want to pay attention to this and see how Konami does. They have a lot less freedom in a deck building pack, even though, again, same structure, no short prints, yet you're only going to pull a playset of each ultra per case, and then your chase are going to be the collector rares. They're touting new cards and older favorites here as well. I want to see what older favorites, quote unquote, they pick in this set, but I still don't think it'll have a huge impact on this set. This is just a completely different beast, and I'll do a deep dive on this soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations.